Welcome to MMA Fancast. My name's Luke Payson, and I am joined by a previous guest of the show, Jay Manning. Jay, welcome back to the show.
What's good, man? Good to be back. Good to be here again, man. It's been dope.
It's been some time. You have quite the story personally and in MMA, but right now you're a month away from a big LFA professional MMA fight at middleweight, 185 pounds, up at Niagara Falls, the New York side of Niagara Falls. So let's jump in. March 24th, LFA is a big promotion. How'd this come together? What's it feel like to be so close to making a big splash in LFA?
Man, it's been a journey. I'll say that to start it off, man. It's been a long journey, but no knock to the work that my trainer, gym owner Danilo Villafort has done in the background, piecing a lot of things together, putting a lot of groundwork, footwork in to make things happen for us as fighters. You know what I'm saying? But as you know, I had my first fight, my first pro fight down in Brazil, came back to PA, had an amateur fight, had my daughter come in the picture. So I took a step back for a little while, had a little injury or two. So I took another step back, and it feels good to be back, stronger and way better than ever. You know what I'm saying? But this fight came together kind of in serendipity. Been in contact and talks with LFA for a while, trying to piece something together. And this year and this fight is the one where we finally make the debut and make it happen.
Well, a big congratulations. You had your daughter right before the amateur fight for 247. So congratulations. Obviously, I know she's going to be 2 in May, so it's been some time. What has it been like from your first 2 fights? Because you had a fight down in Brazil, you had a local fight. What have you been working on? Like, what has it been like now that you've got some experience before the next level of your upcoming fight?
Really going back and filling in the gaps I feel like I had. You know what I'm saying? It's been a very experimental, I'll say, along the journey. Of course, sticking with my same coaches, Mikey, Uncle Jeff, the Iron Panda, Danilo Villafort. They've all been helping me in all different types of ways, you know, and really just putting the time in and sharpening the tools I have, and figuring out new tools along the way. Really been working on my ground game a lot. Really been working on sharpening my striking up a lot, and getting it to the point where I feel confident stepping into the cage with anybody. So it's been fun. It's been hard, but I feel like the more difficult training has been, the more worth it I feel at the end, you know. Put in the time, put in the payment now, and then cash out on fight day.
Well, and a big part of that cashing out on fight day, which is super exciting, you're matched up against Bruce Xavier, who is 1-1, so makes sense to be fighting a guy with about as much, a little bit more experience, but about as much experience as you. But a big part of this is the fact that this will be a 3-5 minute round fight. What has it been like? I know you had one of those before in Brazil. You mentioned physically doing better. You seem to have a great frame for 185, kind of an Anderson Spider Silva frame, which of course is a huge compliment. Being a longer, lithe, you know, you got muscle mass, but you're not real bulky. You're kind of, you know, you can move quickly. You mentioned striking. So where do you think you are in case it goes 15 minutes of a hard-fought fight, which obviously would be good experience for you, even if you'd rather get a quick knockout? So what do you think it's like getting ready for that level of conditioning?
Well, we've been conditioning for months. It's no slack at NDO. There's no hiding that we have been doing great in bouts that we've had in the MMA world, and fights throughout the city and just overall. And that's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? We don't slack. We're always working. We're always working past the time it's time to work, before it's time to work. And we put in the time, we put in the effort, and it's going to show. There's no doubt about that at all, you know?
And so for you making the trip up to Niagara Falls, March 24th, you know, fighting pro in the States, it's super exciting. What are you looking forward to the most? Is it the atmosphere? Is it having fans there? Because I know Gavin Teasdale, your teammate's going to be fighting. The Cahill brothers have been really promoting people to come out to support you and Gavin, both from Indio Dojo, obviously. So what are you looking forward to for March 24th? The crowd winning with a flying knee. I mean, you've got a lot of, you could do the Street Jesus. You could do the Street Jesus flying knee. Who knows? A lot of options at the pro level.
A lot of things that I couldn't do at the last fight that I'm wanting to bring out now, man. Shoot, honestly, one thing I'm looking forward to the most. My family's from Niagara Falls and Buffalo, that area, so I got a lot of family that's gonna be out there. The support from Indio, as a gym and just the local crowd, man, has been great. They came out in numbers at the last fight, at the 24/7 fight. And they've been coming out in numbers at all the Indio fights. So looking forward to that crowd being out there and really showing them what the hard work has been about, and really appreciating that support that they've had so far, that they've given us. And yeah, man, making that USA Pro debut, you know what I'm saying? Being able to get out there and really show that it's not for nothing. We're really here. The hard work is really here. You know what I'm saying? What we do is it pays off in the long run, and really showing the world what Indio is about, and kind of making that big premiere about me, as well as Indio Dojo, as well as all the work we've been doing. I'm excited to showcase a few things. I'm not gonna give away the sauce, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to show a lot of different techniques. There's no one finish that I can apply pressure to in this conversation. There's multiple ways I can get the job done with this guy. It's just a matter of which one comes first. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's like you said, it's getting into that flow state. You're quite the athlete. You got a lot of skills. You're training at an incredible gym, as you've been saying, for Indio. So you've got a lot of techniques, and I think you'll kind of find the way to win, which is super exciting, particularly at the pro level where you've got elbows and knees. We've talked about your frame. You mentioned training to be more dangerous on the ground, which makes a lot of sense. You're training at a really good jiu-jitsu gym. So obviously that's a big part, right? To be good no matter where it goes, which is super exciting. Who are you most excited about being there in person? You mentioned, or maybe it's not a fair question, maybe there's many people, but you mentioned having people live in action for your fight for 247, which was exciting. Not a lot of people could make the trip to Brazil, obviously. So who are you looking forward to having there? And is there anybody in the crowd that you can pick out, as a competitor? Sometimes people say, oh, I can always hear this person or my grandma or whoever. So do you have anybody that's kind of special to be there in New York?
Yeah, my dad, like I said, my whole dad's side of the family is from that area. So having him out there would be amazing. He currently lives out in Missouri, but he makes trips back all the time. He's trying to make his way back. My family's going to be out there. But being able to kind of enjoy that moment with the fam is going to be amazing, in particular.
Sure.
But I mean, while I'm in there, of course, the main voices I'm gonna be hearing is Danilo and Mikey and Jeff. I mean, naturally, they told me to throw something. I gotta make it happen. But yeah, man, it overall, I'm excited for the experience, man. Being able to show out in front of the home team, for real. It's only a couple hours away from Pittsburgh, so we're gonna show up in numbers. We're gonna show up in numbers. We're gonna come in deep, and it's gonna be amazing and put on a show.
Well, that's exactly what I know you're planning on doing, putting on a show. I'm pumped for you. I'm excited that you get up there with some teammates from Indio, that you're officially in the 185-pound pro MMA. I know you've had some time really to develop. So I think this is what we see in MMA a lot is, when you develop your skills, you can then go on a bit of a run, and put some wins together. And so it's been great catching up with you. I can't wait to have you back on MMA Fancast after your fight, so you can talk all about having people there and the trip and the win and the fight and all of that. So thanks so much for taking time out of your busy training schedule. It's always incredible talking with you. You have such an energy and excitement for MMA. So thanks so much for coming on the show.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me. It's been great.
You take care. So for everybody that's been listening, you've been listening to Luke Payson for MMA Fancast with Jay Manning guest and soon to be LFA middleweight MMA fighter at March 24th up there at a casino in New York, the Falls up there, Niagara Falls. So thanks so much. You take care.
All right. You have a good one.
Got it.